Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Misadventures of the Notable Nobodies here at Euro Twin Games. Last week, you all, after traveling for a number of days along the outer skirts of the Darkenshire Forest to the furthest edge of Keebrick from where you originally met each other, have now arrived at the city of Ginhat, in which you have been stationed, for lack of a better word, to prove yourself to the Keebrick Continental Watch, or at the very least, to serve as some use to the continent of Keebrick. You arrived, met the individual you were told to, a Jamuel Rixvel, the tall, oddly colored Furbolg greeted you, introduced you to your headquarters, a suitable but by no means brand new wagon, which conveniently enough, while it did not come with any means of transport, you had already purchased a mule, which alone, admittedly, may have a hard time traveling with it, but could move it at least. But after your meeting with Jamuel, you decided to go meet those citizens of the village that you will be serving, and that's where we'll pick up. As you all begin heading into the village, just a few feet from your headquarters, the castle, as you've deemed it, and your major domo, the very run-down wooden structures ahead of you. You can see straight ahead a fairly large, comparatively to those around it, structure. Also, probably from what you can see, one of the more well put together remaining structures about. You can see just ahead of you as the road seemingly splits to the left and the right here, though the small village of Ginhat that it is, you can already tell that it's less two separate paths and more just a general oval-like section of road where things are in between it. To the right, you had already noticed the varied states of run-down residential shacks that it appears many of those who call Ginhat home reside in, and a few other structures that, based on a quick glance, seem to either be small stands along the center oval-esque portion next to the large structure that appear to have some measure of random goods for sale. And to the right, also kind of forefront along the road, you see a building that, while nothing special about it necessarily sticks out, you do see some varied tools that you can recognize as possibly blacksmithing tools hanging outside of it.
Well, this is just like a dream come true. We have a castle in the city.
Yes, a city. Yes.
Kester, just how many fingers am I holding up?
2.
Okay. No head injury, right?
I mean, it's not that bad.
No, it's great. It's
I
great.
mean, it's
Feel like home?
kinda, yeah.
I'm understanding
It's
more and more about you every
definitely
day.
less prosperous area than Stratson even.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just
I mean,
So, where would be the best place to find most of the people here?
Where do they serve alcohol?
All right. To the bar it
I
is.
mean, you've seen the place, right?
that's
Yes.
fair.
Although, what time of day is it?
As you've arrived, you still got a few hours left of daylight. It's probably maybe about 5-ish or so in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
it's about dinner time. Stone Rebels, and there's alcohol.
Let's head on over, I suppose.
I just start beelining it towards whatever.
I'm like, which one of these buildings
Smelling it.
looks like?
There's got to be food here somewhere.
Give me a perception check. Smell for food.
Smell for food.
I guess the positive thing is if they're all boozed up, they might like us a little more.
Or they
12.
will hate us immensely.
I have a feeling they're going to like us a lot.
Once they hear our name, I feel like a lot of heckling is in order.
Why would they heckle us for being Castor, Rico, Katya, and...
I think he means the nobodies.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Bunch of nobodies are here to help you guys.
Yes.
Have no fear.
The nobodies are here. With Rico, man of mystery. To everyone.
Yes.
Yep.
Eh?
And
Yeah.
Kestavanil, beauty.
Are we already breaking into like code names for you guys?
Oh yeah.
We got Man of Mystery.
Well, I was gonna say, we
Beauty.
talked about it last week being, you are a man of mystery. Thanks, I like that. I'll take that as my title to everyone. Oh, well, see. Perfect.
So, as you sniff the air, trying to get some sense of where food may be coming from, you don't offhandedly get an easy sense of it. However, as you just smell about, you can smell an area or a scent wafting from one general direction that doesn't smell as mildewy.
That way. Just start walking.
As you start heading off along the left stretch of the fork in this section of the road of Ginhat, you start to come around the front of the larger structure that you had initially seen, and at this point you're starting to realize that the shift in odor is likely coming from it. As you get around the front of it, it's a very elongated, maybe about 60-foot long structure. You see at the far end of it, from where you bend about, a bit of a porch-like opening. And as you see that, you hear a loud crash as two figures come flying off the porch, still about another 70 feet or so from you, and just start rolling about on the ground. Punches are thrown as you hear some shouts from just around the corner where you can't see either.
Do we know if this is the kind of
Found
place we're
him.
expected to, like, stop?
It was never really told that you were to police the places,
Okay.
just necessarily,
Outside threats, not internal threats then?
yeah.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't escalate beyond that, I suspect it'll be
I
fine.
can continue walking towards it.
Yeah.
Perhaps
get-
it's just a friendly game.
No,
That's not how that works at all.
I think it's not.
You get about another 20 feet or so closer before the two rolling figures kind of get to their feet, and as they do, you recognize one quicker to his feet is clearly a dwarf, and the other one, still hard to exactly know for sure, but you believe to be likely human based on the build, is on his knees about to stand up as the dwarf just throws another haymaker, leveling the guy back on his hindquarters. And then he just spits next to him and just starts walking past him in the direction of you all. As you
Alright.
watch behind him, the
It's a nice punch.
Eh. Who y'all supposed to be?
We're the Notable Nobodies. We're from the Continental Lodge.
I grin.
Watch eh?
Yep.
What they want around here? They ain't
Uh-huh.
showed no interest before.
Well, there's interest now. Oh, we just got told to come here.
So, they ain't showed no interest since the wars with the orcs ended. And now, you say they do. And they quite literally send nobodies.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a title. It's a work in progress.
It's not a
grinning.
good title.
Well, you can blame the cat.
The cat is grinning, like, ear to ear, like,
Just what we need. More people poking around. He spits again at the ground near your feet and just walks by.
Well, what's
you.
your name?
Good day, dwarf.
He doesn't answer, continues off.
I, like, make a note of which direction he goes. I kind of want to watch him if he goes to a house.
Probably the blacksmith.
He goes off in the direction of the houses. He doesn't
Yeah,
go to any
yeah,
of the
okay.
immediate ones, but he's definitely going to that direction.
Alright.
I mean,
I don't know his name, but I make a note, and I don't know how to literally make a note, because I want to remember him if I see him later. What is he worried about people poking their noses into?
That's a good question.
I don't know, but I want food. I just walk in.
As you walk up, you've noticed the
It's that guy's still on the ground there.
he's already gotten up, apparently, during your bit of conversation. and clearly in a bit of a huff is making his way in the opposite direction.
Okay.
I want to go follow that guy real quick. Try to catch him before he gets too far away. If he's like crazy far away, I won't like chase
I mean, he's
him.
not like running down the road, but he's definitely like he had already started walking while you were still talking with the dwarf.
At the tail end of the conversation, as the dwarf's walking away, I'd like to go and like just...
Oh.
Excuse me.
What?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. What business out of it is yours?
No, just we're new in town, here to
Yeah, I can tell that.
yeah, here to help out, and I just was kind of wondering like is this-
Help out.
is this
What
kind-
you gonna help out with?
I mean, we're kind of figuring that out now, but does this kind of thing happen a lot?
I mean, depends on who's talking.
I'm gonna assume that it was you that was doing the talking in this case.
I mean, I talk. Darn, it's full of talk.
Darnik would be the dwarf. Oh, I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, I need you to tell me. I just realized.
All right, well, I mean, he was kind of a jerk. I just want to make sure you were okay. So,
Aye. Don't you worry, he'll get his.
Okay.
You just turn back and he just storms off.
Everybody's friendly so far.
Oh, did you happen to get your friend's name?
I think I got the dwarf's name. Maybe is it Darnik?
I'm like, okay, I'll make a mental note of that.
Right. Well, Rico, best foot forward.
You just walk in. As you enter into it, you immediately find out that this is in fact a tavern inn of sorts, though at a first glance, and based on what you saw on the outside
Does this
compared
have
to...
any kind of name on the outside?
Uh, a warm bed.
Simple enough.
Depends on what's warming it.
As you enter in, you see it very,
I didn't mean that right.
very lively. Certainly, as had been pointed out by Rico, nearing right around the time everyone's apparently in the city eating, as there's a good 14 or so people as you look about, one individual going back and forth constantly.
Oh, good.
You guys go find us a table. I'll talk to that guy.
That seems
Do
fair.
we see any
Or
open
the
tables?
bartender. Is it just the one guy? There's no bartender. There's just one guy.
There's just
going?
one guy.
Oh, well, let's go find us a table.
You're eventually able to find a small, kind of secluded area, probably really too small for you all, but there's not a whole lot to pick from, but you all get a spot to at least half sit. Especially since Rico and his hammer and shield are kind of taking up a bit of room.
I can put the shield on the floor if
He's
you
got to
want.
have his own chair for the hammer.
No, it sends a good message.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I put the shield on my back. Hammer slides his own chair.
You're only sitting there for a few moments before the darting around figure comes up and stops. A small, middle-aged, you can guess, gnome male.
Gnome male, you said?
Yes. What can I get you?
Whatever you got, and then meat and cheese, or bread and cheese for that guy.
If you have any fruit as well.
I can see what I can get
Oh,
around.
what's your name, pal?
Parsi.
Parsi?
You're just passing through. You stopping
Oh.
for the night.
No, we're gonna be here a while. We were sent down here by the Continental Watch.
Oh. Why?
Didn't they use a certain special term? I can't remember. We have our own castle and a tent.
I didn't see him putting up no.
It's actually the wagon. We just call it the
Oh,
castle.
that's for y'all. Okay,
Yeah,
I saw that show up a while back.
Yeah, we just call it the castle.
All right, I don't blame you, I guess.
Yeah. Hopes. High hopes.
All Alright, so y'all are staying.
Yep.
Yes, the Watcher sent us to watch over this section of land since they don't have anyone here currently.
It's been a minute since they actually bothered having anyone cover this area.
Yeah, since the war with the orcs.
Yeah, we've been getting the occasional appearance by the Tempest, but they watch Kymel and the Peaks.
Yeah.
Well, we knew that it had been a long time, so we thought that it would be good for us to come here and help you guys out.
Or at least the
Roll
watch
a
did.
Deception check.
I know, like,
It's a 20, not natural.
Well, that's awfully kind of you, but you might have wanted to look into it a bit more before you seem awfully young. And Ginhat's not a place for youngins.
Excuse me, I'm an adult.
Well, I'm not questioning that, but you look awfully young for an adult. I mean, I've seen a few half-orcs. And I mean, I can't say exactly your age, but you're not more than halfway through your second decade.
Well, let's just say that between me and my friends here, we have a lot of experience and are qualified to help if there are any issues that you guys need help with. Are there any like recurring problems around here, or?
Well, I imagine y'all saw our little show. That's
between was that Darnick?
yeah.
What was the other guy's name?
Dane.
Darnick and Dane.
Alright. There are a couple of ruffians from around here. I mean, they're not criminal, nothing like that, but
I mean, well, I kind of grew up in a town like this. You get them.
yeah, that's about the most they look forward to on a daily basis.
So, what's there for work around here? You guys clearly aren't loggers, because that belongs to,
Yeah, not for some time.
Yeah.
That's why we got this wonderful city, is they thought they'd come up here and start some operations, and then realized the travel just made it not worth their time. So we got left with what they decided not to take.
Is there a mayor or someone that runs
Nah.
the city? Is it just...
Nah, I mean, if you want to call anyone in charge, it's the Yerricks, but they ain't actually in charge. They just, they're just the namesake for the city with the ale that they produce.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I've heard about that ale. It's pretty popular around.
Nah, yeah. You can't get it here. They got a specific locations that you can get it. You might be able to talk a Dover into giving you some for a right price, but
can't get Ginhat in Ginhat.
nah, not anymore. Not since Ansev's left up and went to Kymel.
That seems ridiculous.
That seems like a weird business model.
Well,
Actually, that seems like a sound
I mean,
business model, but
Yeah.
it just seems like a strange name.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't like just abandon the people who built you up, you know?
Expansion, maybe, but I get where you're coming from. Well, we're going to be here a while, so get used to seeing our faces.
well, I guess for what it's worth, then, welcome to Ginhat. Suppose I could tell you the few people you might want to check in with.
Nope, that actually sounds great.
As we open the
Well,
conference.
I mean, not to toot my own horn, but you already met me. I'm one of the more well-to-do, if you want to call it that, people in the city. And then, of course, there's a Dover. He's Ansev's son. He runs the brewery here in Ginhat. Mostly all he does is get the ingredients that they can't get up in Kymel and make that batch and get it sent up.
That's probably why it's
Kymel.
still called Ginhat, because the ingredients come straight from here.
Yeah, that makes
Uh,
sense.
I suppose, looking at y'all, you're supposedly here to help keep the peace and keep odd jobs being done outside of what we can do. You probably want to go see, I think she's here somewhere, Varana. she runs the smithy shop here. Well,
Are those all the businesses you have? Is the brewery, the smithy, and this tavern?
we've got the Delanes. They don't really have a shop, but they own a couple carts that they sell from out on the road. Random odds and ends. We got a hunter that goes out and gets food and pelt. And he goes by the name of Gravali.
Rivali?
Yeah. I mean, what you see is what you get. I don't know where y'all came from, but
It wasn't much better than you.
so you know how it is. Yeah, that's what we got here in Ginhat. We got a warm bed, ale, and I guess that's really about it.
Ale in a warm bed sounds good to me.
Where might we find this Grivali? Do you know?
This time he's probably laying traps for the evening.
Right. Does he frequent the tavern often?
Oh yeah, he mostly lives here in the city when he's not out in the forest, but yeah, he's here when he's around. He owns a place, I couldn't tell you which one, but
Alright. Thank you.
I just have 2 more questions for you, if that's
of
okay.
course.
How many people live here in Ginhat? Just an approximation, maybe.
I mean, there's maybe somewhere between 30 and 40 of us.
Oh, okay. And my second question is a little different. Do you make cakes here?
Neither of us.
I mean, I suppose I have. It's not really a whole lot of demand for cakes around here, I'll be honest.
There
Like, even
is
just
now.
muffins?
No, there is. Well,
I just like point at her
I'll
and like tiny cake.
I'll see what I can do. I don't have any on hand right now.
Is there a baker in town? Anything like that?
No.
Just okay.
No, pretty much anything prepared you're gonna get here.
Okay. You guys got anything else?
No, let's just eat dinner.
I'm just sitting here like waiting for food now. My questions are done.
Yeah, alright, I'll be right back with that then. And then he just darts away again, checking at a few other stops before vanishing.
Just waiting.
A few moments later, the food is brought out to
Okay,
you all.
I didn't actually say that to him. I just said
There's certainly an edible arrangement presented to you, though it's another, perhaps less than enthusiastic welcome to the.
I bet you it's
City
better than ration
itself.
stew.
Oh yeah.
It may be better than ration stew. You were given a variety of things, though you can tell that the fruit, at the very least, was likely not freshly arrived. It's not rotten, but it's closer to rotten than not.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that.
Beggars and choosers, yo.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good.
Oh, so how much is the meal?
It's good.
Like I've already like ate
Yeah,
a
I mean,
lot
my
of it.
food is gone.
So y'all don't need rooms then?
No, we're gonna just camp right outside of the
Yeah, alright.
the village proper. Village? Town? What is this?
Yeah, we're just a village as far as I know. I'm
Yeah.
surprised they still put us
We're
on
gonna
the
just
map.
set up a camp right there by our wagon, just outside the village.
Or just a collective of houses.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this point, that's kind of.
Do we call it the
We're
collective?
just the
then?
ones that haven't escaped.
Kester.
You don't know anything about it, don't call it that. It's very
We should try to clear
ominous.
some space
sort
and
of.
maybe put our pinball baskets up
We'll just
so
call it
other
the town.
people can play them too.
Yeah, the,
Because I feel like they need some kind of outlet here.
So why don't we just say village?
That's wonderful. I love that.
Is
I
it?
don't know the difference.
I'm pretty sure it's population size. So what's the total then?
For 7 copper.
Each
Yeah, I'm
or-
gonna need another order, and then I'll give him 14 copper.
Oh, are you paying for everybody?
Yeah, I'll pay for everybody.
Okay.
All right, so another order of
my money
everything
back.
then.
No, just another order of what I ate.
Oh, that will just be an additional 2 copper.
No,
I'll give
he
him
wa-
a gold.
He wants enough to feed everybody.
Unless you guys want more.
I'm good.
I'm good for
Hey,
right
gold.
now.
That's almost.
Or I mean a silver, sorry. I looked at silver and said a gold.
Here's
I'm
a
looking
tip.
at Rika going,
Get
whoa!
I'm very glad you're here.
Hey, that's how you make money. Or that's how you make friends. Just throw
I said
money
that's
at them.
not how you make
No,
money.
I meant a silver.
You made money by paying 3 times what everything's
Well, I
worth
mean,
minimal.
you pay a guy pretty good, and he's like, you know what? I actually got a job for you, and then you make money from that. You get into
So
good
then you get your money
graces.
back.
Yeah. But no, I meant a silver. I'll pay him a silver for it.
What? And then you eat. The crowd slowly starts to dwindle, though by the time you finish your meals, over half of the people that had been here when you arrived are still there. Though, other than the occasional odd look of someone realizing that someone they don't recognize is sitting at a table nearby, no one's.
If I ever notice someone give us an odd look, it's
I'll do the same thing.
I
I'm gonna
pull out-
hesitantly like.
I pull out Trick and Trap and I start tinkering and ignore all of them. They're-
I'm going to just wander around town for a little bit to see
Would you like some company?
if you'd like to come.
Yeah, I've got nothing left, and I just like take whatever's left of bread and just shove it in my mouth and start following him out.
I'm focused on my tinkering. I'll just sit here because here is a table. As far as I know, we don't have a table in our wagon.
As soon as they stand up, I jump seats over towards Katya and I'm like, alright, let's go find a place and let's set up the bin bowl. While they're doing their stuff.
It's dark. And
We'll sell
I'm
it.
working. Like, you see the bits like spread out all in front of me as I'm doing.
Okay, alright.
Why don't you go scout out a place and then we can do it first thing in the morning? So we're gonna have to find a way to like put the baskets up. We're gonna need some like big sticks or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe.
I get up and start leaving. Rowan! Rico! Wait
Yes.
up!
I go back to my
As I catch
tinkering.
up.
Okay.
Good. As soon as she's gone, I call him back over, and I ask him if we can order. No, if I can pay for like a set of tiny cakes for tomorrow,
Oh,
and then I will tell him that if he has tiny cakes available most mornings, they will buy them.
I mean, I can see what I can make, but before I can really start with any consistency making them, I'll have to get another order of supplies.
Yeah.
Because
Just if you just have enough to make something for tomorrow.
I might be able to mix up something and get a couple out, but not a whole like platter. or
No, just
anything.
like, I mean, and they don't have to be big cakes. I'm talking like little cakes,
Okay, I
Yeah.
can see what I can do.
like 4 little cakes.
Let's see.
Just whatever kind of berries you can.
Okay, yeah, I might have enough to make 4 small.
That'd be
And
wonderful.
that, let's see, we'll just say,
One gold. Rush order.
2 silver for all 4 of them.
Alright.
Got it.
I will pass those over.
He takes them. Alright, I better at least go get things around for that then. Is there anything else you need?
No, let me know if you need me to move from the table, but I'm just gonna keep working here if that's alright.
Oh, things should die down. There'll be a few more people that come to drink, but the crowd is at its wind down, so you should be fine here.
Thanks.
As
Make
he
by a
also looks
table.
at the like half, 2/3 of a
Yeah.
table that you guys actually have.
Yes. Well, they're all gone now, but. Yeah.
But still, it's a
I spread out all this stuff.
secluded area of the whole place. There are
Oh,
certainly
yeah.
larger tables available now that so many people have left.
I'll just tinker.
Alright. Then, the 2 of you start making your way out of the warm bed down the street randomly as you hear muffled from the sound of the door a shout of your names, the door opening, the shout becoming more clear as Kesta comes looking
Why?
down the road,
You coming
seeing
too?
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't want to hang out with Katya?
I mean, she seemed pretty busy, so.
She's always busy. Well,
check out the town.
Survey our
Kingdom?
kingdom, I suppose.
See, he's coming around.
Yeah. Gotta think positive.
Yeah, this really isn't much different than Harps. It's cold, it's wet. Everything looks like shit.
As you do a lap, you find that it takes you no more than 7 or 8 minutes to cover almost the entirety of the village. Maybe not going by and going around every single building, but looking down every random passage, set of alleys between residential areas. You cover it all in less than 10 minutes before you find yourselves back. In that time, you had passed by the area that you had briefly seen a little bit down the right side of the road with the blacksmithing tools hanging outside of it. As you come from a different angle, you do see a bit of a alcove of the building that is set up with a couple of clear furnace-like chimneys coming out from one side. Very little smoke coming out of them at the moment.
How sturdy do those look?
The chimneys seem sturdier than the building. Almost.
At least the furnaces look good.
Yes. I mean, good for this place at least.
Yeah, surprising. Do we hear any hammering or anything like that coming out of the place?
Not at the moment.
Probably turned in for the night. We don't know where it's at though.
Yes.
Come speak to them. Maybe,
What?
maybe they have the armor I'm looking for. I said maybe. It could be. Verana's magnum opus.
It could be. You are not wrong. Well,
You're not there.
I know. Some part of me is like,
How
I
did
feel
you-
like Rico just used a really big word.
wait.
What's up?
You don't know what a decade is.
Nope.
Do you know what a magnum opus is?
Yeah. Do you not know what a
You
magnum
used
opus
it
is?
correctly too, so that makes me think you actually know what it is and you haven't just heard it.
I know what a magnum opus is.
Why?
Because the smithy in Harmt had his magnum opus, and he sold a very, very nice shield and sword set.
How do you... Where did you learn magnum opus
When I-
that you didn't learn decade?
I mean, I don't know. Like I used to,
Or myriad?
when I used to carry the metal for him, bring the chunks of ore to his smithy so he could melt them down into bars and make. And then I heard him selling it, calling it his magnum opus, his greatest work.
Kudos to him. Kudos to you for keeping that up there all these time.
I'm not dumb.
I know, it's just you ask a lot of questions about a lot of words. That's just I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I mean, there's, maybe if you'd actually speak to us, you might find some things out.
I do speak to you.
Ask us
And
questions,
I'm
no, not
speaking.
just speak down.
Well, I'm going to ask now.
Okay. I mean,
How do I
better late than
know?
never, I guess.
I asked questions before. There were some questionable things that you all said a while back. Let's just
Yeah.
be fair about that.
You didn't question it, though.
Probably should have.
Questionable, but not questioned.
It's because I just was very wary. Still a little wary.
That's right.
Honestly.
Gotta make the best of the situation. I give you a pat on the back.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I forgot you're an elf. Not the sturdiest of frames.
I may not be as large as you are, but it's,
I just look like it hurt a little. I'm sorry.
I
I'll be,
just think you smacked me with a gauntlet. That was a little
I'm not wearing gauntlets. I'm wearing chainmail.
chainmail.
But
Don't
my
make me
hands would be
impressed.
like gloves. Just gloves, not gauntlets.
Either way, you're very strong. I know. I
Yeah.
get it.
Anyway, so do we go get the cat and go set up camp and
I don't think,
turn in for the evening?
I don't think we need to go get the cat. She'll find her way back if she needs. She's probably messing with the mice.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's probably safer to do that in
As
the inn
cats
instead of
are
on the
wont to
table.
do.
I mean, what if she gets lost?
Uh,
I said very sarcastic.
no.
You don't like it here, do you?
I mean, it's great. I love it.
How do you deception roll on that?
Fine, whatever.
As you're having this conversation, you start to hear, maybe not mumble, but just random one-sided conversation as just about 20 feet ahead of you, a single, covered in a cloak, but by no means apparent, trying to be stealthy or sneaky in any way. Slender figure comes walking about, just kind of talking to himself before he looks up.
Hi.
Oh. Hello. I don't recognize.
Oh, we're three quarters of the Notable Nobodies. We're here from the Continental Watch. We're stationed here. Yeah.
So you're like the Rising Tempest, then?
In a way.
In a way, yeah.
Kind of, yes.
That's Rowan. That's Kesta. I'm Rico. Who are you?
My name's Boise. Boise Leaf Breeze. What bet did you all lose?
Well, we tried out for the watch, and through complications, they're essentially put us out here to test us.
That's an interesting way to go about it. I've been here so long, yet I continue to learn so many strange things about this continent.
Can we tell what race they are?
He's an elf.
Elf.
What do you do in town? Are you...
For the most part, I help a Dover. That's really about it. Have you met him? He's a friendly enough fellow.
Not yet, actually. We arrived just a few hours ago. We went and had dinner, and now we're just kind of checking out the village.
Oh, as it so happens, I was on my way over there. He promised me a drink or two. Well, perhaps I could invite you as well.
We would certainly not say no to meeting more of the town.
Excellent. You said 3 pots. Are there
Oh,
more?
yeah, there's a cat.
Tabaxi.
Yeah, Tabaxi, sorry.
A rather unfriendly one.
I
at
was
that.
going
Yeah,
to
she
say
doesn't
we
speak
should
much.
probably not invite a cat to drink, but a tabaxi is a completely different story.
I don't know. I think
She's playing with mice right now.
that's true. She
Yeah.
is playing with her mice.
And you mean the tabaxi,
Yes.
not the cat?
Oh, we don't actually have a cat. The Tabaxi is playing with her mice, yes.
Well, that is delightful.
Yes.
We can
See,
bring
you see the
funny to
irony in it, right?
I enjoy that.
Yes.
Are you sure? Adova would get a kick out of that.
No, I'm sure she'd just be a Debbie Downer.
Oh.
Yeah,
Adova would not get a kick out of that.
probably not.
Fine.
I mean, we probably should at least invite her.
Should we
right?
see it? I mean,
I know it's a little out of the way.
on what side of town is the brewery compared to the inn?
This is a big thing right there with the.
It's a little bit, as he kind of points, well, there is the warm bed, like maybe 40 feet away from
God, it's not even that far away.
I can run further than
And
that in 6 seconds.
The brewery is admittedly on the other side of town.
So not that far away then.
No, just by the forest line.
Rico's actually laughing because he's finding this funny.
I am slightly curious, like that
Rowan's
oval,
upset.
to go from one end of that oval that is the town essentially to the other.
Yep,
how,
there
how,
is
many, how
in
far
the-
is that in feet?
He's just
And
like exasperated.
feet to like do a
Kest
lap
and I are
around the
losing it.
oval is maybe about
Not even a lap, just like from one point to the other.
just like
Yeah.
one end to
Yeah.
the other, not even back.
Yeah.
maybe 120, 140
I
feet.
can run across the entire town in 6 seconds.
Well, that's just the oval bit. From
Yeah.
like entry point of the city to the forest line is probably closer to like 260 to 300 feet.
So
80
in
times
12
3.
seconds, you can run from one side to the other.
Well, what's 80 times 3?
240.
240.
Yeah, I can run across the town in 6 seconds.
So, since how it's not that far out of the way, do you want to go get the cat?
Yes, I'll go get Katya.
All right. So we're gonna stop by the warm bed and we'll see if the cat wants to come.
Excellent.
You can see her playing with the mice.
Adova can wait. That's
So we'll go to the inn.
I'm just.
as you all enter and you immediately look at the area that you had left her, seeing her tinkering about. Boise entering behind you, kind of. Ah, yes, I see it. She's a tinker. I love it though.
Yeah.
That is quite strange.
Hey,
Why would she
Katya.
find the insides of them out? And
She's got a tool that does it.
he gets closer, and then he gets about like no more or no less than 15 feet away from her before he's like, "Oh, they're not real mice.
No.
Oh, I thought I saw her pulling things out. I
Yeah.
thought she was
Oh.
just gutting them here on the table."
Yeah, you get the joke now. It's
Yes.
she doesn't like it. But
Oh.
Katya, hey, this guy invited us to go drink with the owner of the brewery, or
yes.
the owner's son,
Whoever.
whoever.
Yes,
More
Adova
people
does
to
not
meet.
own it, but
Start picking things up. Alright.
well, by no means feel like you have to. But I happen to run into this lot, and I imagine you're not exactly pleased to be here.
I'm
So-
happy to be here.
It's wonderful so far.
Well, that's
Rogue's just like,
kind of you all to say, but I remember my first months here.
You know, Katya, you really don't have to go if you don't want to. It's
I
really
suddenly
alright.
want to go. Scoop.
Reverse psychology.
I was already picking things up to go.
yeah, you just need to do it
I was,
faster.
I was just like,
Gathering everything up, placing to the side, you join the rest of them as you exit out of the warm bed, going to the right. As you work your way around the oval, you find a single area, a bit of an offshoot that the three of you had looked down and seen a building that seemed to almost press up against the forest line, but the secluded nature of it had led you from just advancing any further to it. As
Oh.
you're led, it's right down here. As he leads you to it. Give me a moment. I'll just make sure that we're not surprising him. As he gives a couple of quick knocks on the door before opening it. Adova, and closing as you hear a bit of muffled conversation.
I want to try to listen.
Roll a perception check.
Wrong one.
I'm gonna listen to her listening.
Ooh, that is an 18 plus 4 is 22.
Listening in, you hear the still muffled but clear enough as you listen to recognize as the elf individual that you had just met, and another voice that you can only assume to be a Dover. As they communicate back and forth, it's very clear that the elf is mentioning the group that he just met. A very brief bit of information about you all is given. You're here on the watch's command from what he was told. Things of that nature. Nothing overtly suspicious. As a Dover is then a bit of perhaps deep, gaspy sigh, and it's like, alright, yes. As you hear footsteps approaching as the
Back
doors
up.
open.
Hi.
Well, I convinced him to share a drink. Do come join us.
Thank you. That's very kind.
As you all enter in to see what compared to the outside of the buildings that you've seen thus far, as well as even the inside of the warm bed, a very stark contrast to what you've seen at this point. As well, the outside of the building doesn't look immaculate by any means. It's certainly more sturdy than a lot of the other ones. The inside is very well decorated. The furniture seemingly brand new, if not just pristinely well cared for. a few other tables and things. You can see another room with a slightly elongated table, likely a dining space, and another series of doors and halls that lead off from that. And as soon as you enter, you can hear the occasional metallic clang kind of dampeningly echo through the walls. As you see the Boise, as you enter in, you look beyond and see a individual halfling standing there. Not poorly dressed, but the attire he's wearing is kind of dirt covered and grimy-esque. Welcome. You're with the watch, Boise tells me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, basically.
We've been recently assigned to this area.
Well, welcome, I suppose. I don't know why you got sent here. It's not exactly like there's anything to protect anymore, but welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
But since I was gonna drink with Boise, and you've all been invited by him. I don't know how many times I tell you not to just invite people. This stuff is. I literally have to make this. But I am many things, but inhospitable to guests is not one of them. So, have you ever had any of my father's brew?
I have not.
No.
Nope.
Oh,
I hear it's good though.
you are going to enjoy this. That's most people have ever went. As he then just shuffles to the side, motioning to a few sturdy enough, though smaller in nature, furniture. The well-maintained, sturdy build of it seems in and of itself enough to give you confidence that it'll hold you unless you just completely drop down on top of it. Really. But any means of finesse would be enough, you think, to suit it.
Okay, make a check.
What?
Make a check.
As Boise takes a seat, much more relaxed, far more so than Rico goes through the motions of. And moments later, Adobe returns, drinks in hand, sitting them out, pouring the ale right in front of you, taking one of them as he sits. Go ahead.
I look-
So, any of y'all been here before?
No.
When he sits down the drinks, I kind of cast a looks around at all of you guys,
I grabbed mine.
as if like, with a look of like,
It's very sweet.
should I drink this? You
You're
know what
not allowed
happened
to
last
drink.
time.
Oh, that's the look that you give?
That's fair. It didn't go well last time.
Wow. That is very good.
Is it very good? I'm assuming.
It is.
It is
There's-
very tasty.
There's hardly any ale flavor to it. It's all seemingly perfectly masked in a bit of a almost honey sweetness, though something's different enough to tell you that it's not just honey.
That's
It's quite good.
really
actually.
good.
This is delicious.
Yeah.
Not a fan of it. This is
I kind of stopped drinking mine. Like I still pick it up, but I don't actually drink it, and I keep an eye on Kesta.
As you just like down the whole glass.
I don't down the whole glass, but she starts off like sipping at it, and then as soon as she tastes it, and then she takes a bigger spoon.
Ah,
Go. That's yeah. As far as being here before, no. Although, doesn't look too much like different than Harp.
huh. I don't think I've heard of harm.
Oh, it's on Alcount.
Huh. We traveled a bit of distance to come here.
Yeah. Like 4, 5, 6 months on boat. Something like that. I don't know.
More than I could.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Well, they tell y'all what you're supposed to be doing up here by any chance?
So far, all they told us is to meet our
meet our major domo.
Daniel. Yeah, our major domo.
Is this-
And
Is that the Furbolg
Yeah,
feller?
the one with the
Yes.
brightly colored tent in the wagon.
And the
Yep,
corners.
yep. Yeah, he
The
just
red ones, whatever.
he just arrived less than a week back.
Yeah.
All right. He didn't really give a whole lot of detail why he was here. He's friendly enough fella.
Apparently, he's our liaison between us and the watch.
He's a very friendly fellow.
Yeah.
You said that there isn't much to protect here anymore. Did this used to be a much bigger
No,
town?
not bigger, but on its way to being something. Back when, I mean, if you lived in Keybrick any amount of time, you probably heard about the northern branch of Stratson. That's why the city got started. That didn't take long, I think it was less than 6-7 years they had up and left. And then we started drifting about towards what you're seeing here. When my father started coming up with Ginhat. And, well, that never really made us much of a whole lot. It started to bring people back to the city. It gave us something that we were called by. But then, the moment that it started making money, and he found out there was more money to be made elsewhere, he went elsewhere. Left me here, of course, because he's got to make his products still, but that's about all that comes out of
How rude.
it. Family.
I know, right?
All of us. Just, the only person who enjoys her family is the cat.
I don't know what you're talking about. I like my family. I don't know. He might like his family. He doesn't really talk about them very much.
Maybe a reason for that.
That's fair.
So maybe the reason that we're supposed to be here in Ginhat is so we can help bring it back up. Less so than protecting it, you know?
Perhaps.
Their only export is Ginhat. We'd have to find a lot of buyers for Ginhat to make this
Hunter
town
only
someday.
exports the material to make Ginhat.
Yeah,
and
actually
that
not-
goes straight to my father.
Yeah, not even that. Just that. So we'd have to create a very large demand for Ginhat to make that purposeful.
Have there been any problems in Ginhat?
I mean, we got problems, of course.
Well-
Not enough people making enough money.
Problems that people like us might be able to solve and help with.
I mean, it depends on what exactly you're looking to do. I mean, every so often, I gotta send shipments up to Kymel. I mean, if you're just looking for basic mercenary work, I'm always looking for someone to take my stuff up there.
They're quite good at violence.
That puts you a bit above majority of the people here, except maybe Verana, but that's another story. Careful of that one.
Noted.
She's not interested.
Have you ever thought about making like your own bootleg Ginhat?
You mean stealing my father's idea and just making my own?
Yeah, when you say it like that, it sounds kind of stupid.
Well, of course I thought of it.
I'm just nodding like, yeah, that's...
It's-
yeah.
Not exactly like it'd be hard for him to figure out where it's coming from once he went.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's got to be some kind of special ingredient here. It's the only reason it's still here.
There's only two people know how to make Ginhat. Him and me.
How long do halflings live? I mean, you'll inherit this all someday, right?
Someday. Unless he just ups and sells it.
Start to be you. I want-
As he's throughout this conversation, you now notice that both he and Boise are on like their fifth glasses of it, just almost constantly drinking it like it's water.
They're probably pretty immune. I mean, if this is what they do all the time, they've got to be,
I gotta catch up.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to make the town better, we've got to bring some kind of industry in here.
Are you guys? Are the people of Ginhat interested at all in Bindle?
Now I start drinking again.
You get a a confused look from a Dover, and a confused though intrigued look from Boise.
He sounds like
Yeah.
so much fun.
As a Dover leans in a bit. Do we look like we've got a whole lot of interest in a whole lot?
I mean, you gotta do something for fun, right?
Fun's what you do when you don't have to worry about surviving day to day.
Oh, that's fair.
I just get really quiet. I've never really had to worry about that.
That is fair.
Welcome to it.
So besides the stuff for Ginhat, what else is there here in Ginhat?
Natural resources.
I know you
around?
you can't log the woods here because that's
No, you can't log them, but you can hunt them. We got a couple of people go out, do that. That's where we got a lot of our meats from. Feed people.
So is there like a lot of game and resources like that in the woods nearby?
Oh yeah, I mean, they move about a lot. You're not always going to find them, but as thick as the forest is, you come across all kinds of things. The only problem is you gotta be careful what you're doing out there, because you come across all kinds of things that are looking for you as its next meal as well.
yeah, survival.
Very true.
But for the most part, I'd say around here, anyways. I mean, there's also Naragu, gnome fella. Every so often, he's got to make trips up the river to the bridge, check the filters on it, make sure it's all up and going.
Filters on
Filters?
the bridge?
Yeah. Maybe the only reason that you get fresh water around these parts for the most part is because of the filter bridge. Old Barnon device. Yeah, Naragu claims to have worked on the finishing touches on the bridge. That's at least enough to get him the job of going up there and making sure it's all working still. Otherwise, we'd be stuck with water from the ocean.
Yeah.
Salty.
It's not good.
That seems like something that could make some as a concept idea. And why doesn't he sell the bridge filters to other places? I mean, other people must need.
Actually, as I think of my knowledge of Keeper,
There
it appears to
are-
be the only river in from those.
Yes.
See?
The lack of rivers is probably the reason for the lack of bridge filters.
That's my guess.
Yes, before the filter bridge was installed, it was a very long, drawn-out process to keep the cities of the continent that were not right by the ocean with water. Because Minoris, Kymel, they can filter and manage their own water from the ocean, but Ginhat would have had no means of doing that.
Okay.
Hill's Edge would have no means of doing that. Maybe Stratson might have the means of being able to get a filtration system, but even they aren't by direct water, they're just close to a reservoir.
Yeah. There are no real natural resources around here then, besides water
And
and
game.
game. That's what besides.
There's no.
Is there a lot of fish in that river?
They get by mostly. I mean, you can catch them. I think one of the people that go into the forest does the occasional fishing, but I mean, unless you go down deep into the forest where it gets kind of lakey and swampy, that's where I've heard a lot of decent fishing is. But you can catch stuff along the river still, from what I hear.
How long have we been sitting around drinking with them?
At this point, it's maybe touched an hour.
I mean, we've learned quite a bit in the couple hours we've been here.
Yeah.
Not too many people here in Ginhat been here a whole lot longer than I have.
There really aren't a lot of natural resources besides the woods, which are to capitalize on here, huh? Is it good farming land, or?
I mean, we got some stretches outside the city. You start heading north along the road up towards the bridge. You start reaching some decent farmland. We get stuff from there occasionally sent down to us, but you don't find anything around here close to what you get at the Beerson Peaks or anything.
Can we find a way to attract like a lot of hunters or other workers or something like that in the area? Maybe? It's like your fourth or fifth
Can't
class.
stop.
Sixth, okay.
Yes, he's almost keeping up with Boise
Rowan,
and Adover.
Rowan.
I'm still nursing like my first one.
I've only had my second.
He's sliding.
Yes, things are getting a little spinny, and you've noticed that anytime you try to move more than you have, they instantly get like 8 times spinnier, and then they slow down. But you move again, instantly worse again.
How you feeling, Rowan? You look great.
The
Both
cat is grinning at you again.
both of them look over towards you, and you can tell now that you're starting to be able to see a bit of an effect on Boise and Adover.
Well,
Oh, you're going to have fun with that, Boise says.
yeah, speaking of which, I think we'll let you guys continue with your evening. I'm going
Too many
to
of them.
Yes.
put this one to bed.
Very well.
Seems like a
All right,
plan.
Rowan, it's time to
Why is
go.
everything moving?
Yep, it's time to go set up. Yep, finish that one up. We're gonna go set up camp now.
Alright, well, y'all aren't half bad. If you're gonna be sticking around, stop by. If I have any work, if I hear of anything, I'll let you know.
Oh, we'd appreciate Rowan. Thank you.
And
I will hold the door for you.
next
'cause
time, I
you
might
might-
charge. As he kind of
Yeah,
motions
yeah.
towards him.
That's fair, and I'll take your glass from you and set it down and just pick you
I just, I'm
up.
like, you might have to get. I will get the door for you.
Keep your eyes closed.
Nope.
Keep your eyes closed. It'll help.
Con save.
I can see in the dark.
Why is everything still spinning?
I'll get the door for you, but if he looks like he's gonna hurl, I
Oh,
move.
that's not good. I got a 10.
You get him up over your shoulder, and everything instantly just starts hurricane spinning, and then you feel the bit of pressure on your abdomen from his shoulder, and instantly just.
If it's coming anywhere near me, I want to get out of there.
Testa, before you leave, can you clean that up for?
As
Mr.
Boise
over here.
loses
Why?
it,
Why do you have
Adover
to make
just
me
like,
do that?
I'm sorry, but he's not gonna be able to walk on his own, and I just walk out.
What are you?
I open the door for you.
have
Okay.
been walking since I was
2 pairs of
able
gloves.
to walk.
You can
Put them
barely
on
speak.
over each other.
Like 2 pairs.
What'd you do now?
I put on both of my pairs of gloves.
just
The
to
best
magic
part-
something
Yeah,
on
you don't even have to touch it.
I can smell it.
on her
It's terrible.
hands.
Things were
Why does my mouth feel like it's on fire?
Yeah, because it is.
Why are you so cacting tall?
I apologize for our friend. He really is the most irresponsible.
Boise's still just uncontrollable laughter, and Adover's just like, it's fine, don't worry about it. Have a good evening.
Take him back to camp, all like 40 feet away. From
Yeah,
where we
but-
are.
Very nice, short people. I
What-
like them.
One of them was an elf. Tall like you.
There were a lot of them.
Alright, I'll pull out his bedroll, like his tent, like get that set up for him, and just toss him in there. He can clean it
You
up in
get
the
back,
morning.
and Jamie will stand up. Hey, what's...
He's
Oh.
he tried the local brew.
Did
A lot of it.
Well, that's... You actually gotta try it. I haven't even been able to try it yet.
I'll
Good stuff, I'm guessing.
I'll put him in his tent
Alright.
after she sets it up for him, and then I'll sit outside his tent. That way I can listen. If he starts to throw up again, I can roll him over so he doesn't die.
Alright, as you get everything set up and get him positioned in it according to how you need it. You were instantly just like, everything's still spinning, and everything spins until you eventually pass out.
Before we actually go to sleep, what do you guys think of this idea? So, they can't play pinball because they don't have the time or the money. So what if we used all of our leftover money to buy them the resources they need for 3 months, and then we spent all that time training them to be a pinball team, and then we entered them into the a Hebrew pinball tournament.
She's not getting my share.
No. I feel very confident thinking that Rowan will also say
I'm kind
no.
of sad that I'm knocked out.
You can
Yeah,
ask Rowan in the morning, but I'm pretty sure
I
he'll
guess
vote no
it's a
too.
stupid-
I'm pretty sure the consensus is going to be no.
Okay.
I don't
It's
know
just-
about in Basin Vale. Maybe they don't have enough money to just do things like that. But even in Stratson, the people who play pinball locally, they have real jobs. No one gets paid to play pinball.
Yeah, but Sansa Kakish, when she became the first orc pinball player, people were giving her all sorts of stuff. She's super famous.
I've never heard of her.
In
Never
Basin
heard of
Vale.
her. No.
What
In-
did you
in
have for
Basin Vale.
Basin Vale?
Right. Well, I don't think Basin
Okay.
Vale strategies are going to work here because nobody has money to begin with.
Except you guys.
That's fair.
Surprise,
And
Basin
even though
Vale's
we
now
really
one of
don't
the
have
rich
much.
towns.
My only other
Oh, it
idea
already
was
Oh, good.
becoming a caravan.
Helping them.
Yeah, they really don't have much going on here. The only way I can see of helping them is to try to connect them more with other towns. But
It seems like
I
their
don't-
only major resource is the forest. Though. They can't use
Yeah.
the woods. So if we could could attract more hunters, leather workers, things like that. Would we know, is there a town that's known for leather working or something already on Keybrick, or is it just kind of a general thing?
That's more of a general thing. There's no real
So
city that.
they could become the premier place for the great, fantastic leather working.
And then we have to find someone who's a fantastic leather worker.
Oh, we should find someone who's a decent leather worker and tell everyone they're fantastic.
That's dishonest.
No, they get better with more practice. It's the way it works.
Yeah, but then you're lying
Well,
to start.
You don't have to say that they're the best ever. We can say, yeah, they're really good.
Yeah,
Find
but
a
if they're not
good-
really good, though, then that's a lie.
We find someone who's a good leather worker. There's lots of good leather workers.
See, this is why you guys are the smart ones. I'm tired. I'm gonna go lay down.
Didn't she only drink half of a
Yeah, she got a couple of them.
I like to think she drank a lot more after 2 maybe finish.
She
like-
she
I
drank
didn't even
much
finish
more than
my
I
first
did.
one,
I
so
drank
I don't
one
really
and
drink
then
normally,
partial of
so-
another, but not nearly as much as our listening. Yeah, he's still breathing. He'll be fine. He's gonna be cranky in the morning, though. Seen it
How is
plenty
that
of times.
different?
It's gonna be worse.
Alright, well, I'll take first watch. You guys get some rest.
All right, I set up my bedroll right next to his tent.
Keeping watch.
Yep. I pull. Yeah. This place does not seem less sketchy than anywhere else we've slept.
Reynolds just kind of chilling, on top of the cart, just
That's where he's
I
been
don't
all
have
night.
anything else to do, so I'm just gonna sit.
I'll set my
If I
bedroll up.
can, if he'll, I don't know if he'll talk to me, but can you keep an
has
eye on
under
him?
specific instructions not to listen to you at all.
Oh, well, I look at him anyway.
Just
but
her or all of
Can you
us?
keep an eye on him?
Just
And
her.
if he starts to, choke or anything, come and tell me.
I'm gonna set my bedroll up next to his tent so that I can
As
hear.
you say that, you finish it with Bird, and then you hear, "Oh, I thought you were talking to me for a second from inside the
Oh.
tent."
No, sorry. Talking to the bird sitting on your tent. Good night.
The bird just kind of looks at you and
Then just-
caws.
Right. The cawing owl is just like, alright.
That'd be a good business name.
You're calling
The
owls.
cawing owl. We should have called ourselves.
I will
Cawing
pull
Owl.
out my mice and fiddle
Hindsight.
while I keep watch.
Mouse and fiddle.
Yes. I'm that good.
I don't think you know how fiddle's
I don't
playing.
know how to fiddle. I don't know.
A fiddle.
Fiddle.
There it is. Holy crap! Took you a while to get
I'm
there.
not a musician, so
A fiddle.
Was choked on my shirt there. You're
A
like,
pan flute.
I was thinking maybe like a piccolo. I don't even know.
I have no idea what that was about.
Someone teach me how to fiddle.
It's like a...
I really need lessons.
The Devil Went Down to Georgia, a classic piccolo song.
Oh, and I do love that song.
You make a good point now, now that I think about it more.
You're drunk, it's okay.
But the night goes
Okay.
without issue.
Is anybody else gonna keep watching? Like, if I wake you up, will you...
I'll wake up and
Alright.
keep watch, though you wake me up. Okay.
Well, if they need us or something, someone should be aware. Something attacks, who knows? I mean, I
Okay.
lived next to this forest
Yep.
for a long time. Things can attack randomly in the night. Go to sleep.
Then I go back to sleep.
Okay.
We got Januel. I just assume he doesn't sleep.
We also have the owl keeping watch, who would probably make noises at least that something's going on. It has to wake him up somehow.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then, as you wake Rico up, falling asleep, Rico, going to sleep himself. The night goes. You all awaken,
As soon as you wake up, set the cook pot up, start cooking.
maybe sleeping a couple hours extra.
Hear him start crawling. Yeah, how you feeling?
I like this town looks.
That bad, huh?
Yes.
Well, here, eat some of this.
Why is it
Don't stand up too fast,
Why is it so bright?
because it's daytime.
It's the sun.
It's too
And it's not even that up.
What?
We have to figure out what we're going to be doing.
What happened?
You decided to drink, and drink, and drink. Yeah, it's not the best way to take care of your problems, man.
Well, I remember
We're on
Kester
the
talking
outside of
about
town,
pinball,
right? So,
and
like,
then I.
there's like a big open space
kind
next
of-
to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're spending all our funds to make a pinball team out of this town.
No, we are not.
We just both turn to look at you and just. Yeah, let's go ahead and leave Rowan alone. He's going to be feeling this one for the next few hours.
Do we have any water?
Yes, actually, we do.
Yeah.
So your best bet is to
It takes the... Fine,
go
I keep
ahead
my
and stay in your
hungry.
tent and just stay out of the light for a couple hours. Drink some water, you'll be fine. Eat.
I'm a vampire now. Right.
No, it's just you're hungover. I've seen it plenty of times.
I've never drank that much before.
Yeah, I could tell after about your second glass.
It was really good.
It was
I'm
tasty.
Never going to do that again now.
Yeah.
Guess, did you want to see if someone has 2 poles that we could buy from them? We could put up our baskets.
It's time?
Yes.
Okay.
It's time.
While they're off doing that,
Of course
I'll
he
stay
is.
around with Rowan to make sure he is doing all right.
I'll grab Katya through the arm and skip into
I'm
the...
like... Okay.
It's a very awkward half skip, half just being pulled along by the skip.
Just walking normally.
How far away is
Our best bet is probably Verona.
the forest line?
About 60
The
feet.
Smith.
From where you guys are, since you're on the opposite side of town, somewhere around 300 or so feet away.
Is there any trees or bushes closer than that?
Bushes, yes. Maybe the occasional scarce tree, but no, like, real meetings of them.
At some point, I just you just see Rowan dart for the nearest bush and just.
Glad I'm not there for that.
You hear it through the city.
It's a terrible
I
noise.
ignore it.
So let's check Verona, and then I think we should go check at
Is being hungover
The
being
warm bed.
poisoned?
Yeah, basically.
alcohol poisoning.
Okay.
You could have stopped this.
So we're
I
heading for
could've.
Verona and then the warm bed, because we passed the Smith to get there, right?
No, the Warm Bed is one of the closest buildings to the outside of
Oh,
the
I lied. Then
city.
let's go to the warm bed first.
Okay.
Alright.
So you
Like
go in as
Kind of wave him down. Are those
Oh.
ready for this morning?
yeah, I was able to get something prepared. They've been getting kept warm for the last couple of hours, but they're much more fresh.
Man. Look, there's tiny cakes.
You made tiny cakes?
I did not make tiny cakes. He made tiny cakes.
I need that known. I personally did not make tiny cakes.
No,
I was going to say, if Bo
Parsi-
made tiny cakes, I am not eating them.
Yes, that's why I have to say that. Otherwise, I would have to say, don't
That's
eat them.
fair.
Parsi,
Parsi made tiny cakes.
thank you. I didn't think you'd be making them so fast. I take it these are for me to eat.
Yes.
Well,
No, you just look at them.
Yes, they're props. Why are you eating the props?
We will take some back to everybody else too. Would you like a tiny
Thank you.
cake?
At least for
I mean, you're
the
hungover, but-
time being, don't get too used to them. It's probably can't make them again for at least maybe a week or so until I can get some more stuff in from Kymel. But apparently it's something that I'll try to keep around for y'all if you're gonna be here.
She likes tiny cakes.
How about this? I start fiddling in my bag. I say, here's 4 gold.
Ow.
Order whatever you need over the next few weeks. I would like tiny cakes. I would like 2 of them a day.
Very well. I'll see what I can do, and I'll let you know once I'm able to start making them for you. But yeah, I'll definitely get an order placed. All right.
That guy just made some money.
He's kind of unsure what to do at the moment. Really, is just like, all right. Haven't really had.
I
I'm
don't
dealing with a different type of person right now.
I don't really care what you do with the gold as long as I have 2 tiny cakes a day. That's fine. And I will pay for them
Well,
as well.
I assure you, I'm going to have to use this to order stuff.
Yes.
Otherwise, I have nothing to make tiny cakes with.
Well, that's why I gave it to you.
If you don't make tiny cakes, we will burn down your tower.
And that's why Rowan didn't go.
So quickly.
She's going to learn fireball or something.
No tiny cakes.
So we sent you to we sent you to Ginhat in order to help make the town better, and you burnt it down.
Well, they didn't have tiny cakes.
It's better now.
Yeah, technically, I just improved the town because now the townspeople can have tiny cakes.
Look, now there's good work to be done. They've got to build a new tavern.
I mean, clearly they need a bakery in this town.
If we burn down a bunch of buildings, they have to rebuild them. They have work now. That's how it works, right?
We're making this an evil campaign, correct?
No,
Oh.
that's Wednesday.
Wednesday is such a weird gray area.
So,
Alright.
Rowan, alcohol is not a way to solve your problems.
Well, you know, I've seen a lot of people who think otherwise, and I
Yeah.
figured,
And you know what those people feel every morning when they wake up?
I'm assuming
That.
like this, maybe worse.
Much worse.
So yeah, we're gonna head to Verona, but
Oh, if you ever see me drinking, it's more than like
save one for
two,
him.
just tell me stop.
You mean like last evening when I tried to tell you to stop? And you just looked at me in the eyes and continued drinking.
To be all fair, I really don't remember. I really don't remember you telling me to stop.
I tried, did my best. But,
Like
for
I
the
said,
time being-
Kessa started talking about bin bowl, and I just remembered.
yep, I get it, I understand. But it's not a way to solve your issues. Right now, I can help you though. And I'll reach over and use 5 points of lay on hands to cure the alcohol poisoning.
You could have done that the entire
Yes,
time.
the entire time. But
Were you trying to teach me a lesson?
yes, that alcohol is not the root or the self. The wow,
When
Is that the thing?
it's not the thing to do.
I assure you that I had learned my lesson the instant I woke up.
Yeah, I was just making sure to reinforce that lesson.
Okay. Well, thank you. Time is it?
Right around like 10, 11 in the morning because you
It's
slept an extra few hours.
You glance about trying to get an eye on things now that everywhere you look doesn't give you a headache. And yeah, it's maybe pushing around 10 or so. You guys were also not up very late.
Where did
Something about getting poles for pinball.
So we've got some time then.
So what?
So we've got some time then.
Yeah. I
We'll
don't
start
think they're
training because I didn't train.
I'm assuming they're gonna have a hard time finding poles for pinball here, unless they literally take it from the houses. Some of those aren't gonna survive that.
You're not wrong. I suppose we only know once they get back. If we get a request to find out who's been stealing.
Right? That'd be our first mission. We'd find it out pretty quickly. It would be.
Someone stole the planes off the back of my house.
And it fell down.
Found them.
Yeah, like imagine if that happened. They would know we're good at our jobs because we instantly solve that issue.
I think they would be more suspicious than anything.
None of us. We were clearly not involved. We. I don't know about those two girls.
We are a part of the whole.
Yeah, but not that part of it. And we would have stopped the issue. Like,
I'm
whether
gonna
we,
put it to you
like,
this
why are
way.
you getting all snide when we're
No, I'm
having a
just saying,
hypothetical?
So, the Notable Nobodies
Uh-huh.
now. That's
All of
4
us.
faces. That's all of
Yep.
us.
Yep.
If one of us does something, it reflects on all of us.
Yeah, and that's why the ones that didn't do it punish the one that did.
It still hurts the whole.
Yeah, we just can't kill them, but. What? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about them gonna go steal poles from a house.
And then killing them.
What are you talking about killing them for?
No,
We're not
you-
stealing poles.
I didn't say kill, you said kill.
No, I specifically. You specifically said we're not going to kill them or anything,
No, I didn't.
and that's how this
You
whole
said that.
second part of this started.
You said that. That's why I was asking you what.
What?
No, I was asking you what because you said
No, you
We're not
literally
going to
said
kill them or anything.
you literally said we're not going to kill them. What? And I said what because I have no idea what's going on now. You've been talking to yourself for like the past 10 minutes.
that's not true at all. We've been talking to each other.
No, you've just been talking to yourself. I've been over here cooking. You're talking to yourself. I thought it was the alcohol thing after I.
No, you
Yeah?
cured me. I am
You sure?
99% sure,
There's always that 1% you're wrong.
but it's probably not. Ever
I'm
going to
just
happen.
messing with you. That's what friends do, right?
Well, sometimes maybe.
I've never had a lot of friends. I don't know. I might have taken it a little too far. Either way, I don't think they're going to steal poles off the back of a house. Kesta won't.
The cat's kind of shady.
Shit, yeah, but we can.
What have I done that is shady?
They're sitting here talking about all these terrible things that we're probably going to do when little do they know I just single-handedly saved the town through a new baking profession.
Right.
I'm going to go
Piranha, the Smith. We're gonna
train
go.
for a little while until they return.
I would like to, as we're going
Can I
through
pay your
the
bird?
village, I want to look for a place that's hopefully somewhere like kind of center in some way, but a place that you could put up to
If it's going to keep you out
poles,
of
I
my
figured-
a vacant lot of sorts,
It would
big
too.
space that wouldn't be like right in the middle of.
Oh, that's why I was just gonna put it in that. That's why I asked him. There's an empty space right next to our camp, on the edge of town there.
Okay, but I still want to look for any other places that might be key real estate.
As you go around looking throughout the
You're gonna want more of this.
village,
Do you want to do it? It's like a
you don't
education
see
program, though.
anything as you arrive to the smithy. If you want to put the smithy on hold, you can continue to look about and try and find an
I
area.
stop at the smithy. I don't really realize what she's doing because I already think I know where I'm going to put this up.
On the way, I'm just looking, kind of seeing if there's any place that look like they'd be a decent place to put up.
And-
That's more
and
center in town.
As you go about looking, the center of town is pretty much already claimed. Vast majority of the center area is claimed by the warm bed. A few other areas have already been cleared and are taken up by 2, maybe 6 foot by 3 foot large, just wooden stands that a few random items, some cured and already like cut out hides, things of that nature draped across them. But it looks like other people have probably already had the idea to find the most central locations and claim them. You do see a bit of open space to a little bit further beyond the Smithy's place. In your bit of traveling around, you had seen it was an unused bit of cleared land near a old rundown temple of sorts.
Oh. A religion. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
What? Religion's good.
Religion. They look like they at some point had religion. Look, there's a temple.
Join the show.
What kind of religion do you think it was?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of gnomes here. Just the one, I think.
Do you think they worship Grumsh or Luthic?
I don't think so.
Okay, those are, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know then.
I was raised to worship Bear of our Folk Shadow. So, yeah, Bear of our Folk Shadow. I mean, we could restore that there. That'd be nice. Yeah. No.
I'm not sure I would make a very good, like, priestess.
No, probably not. But maybe we could find somebody else who wanted to do that.
I do know a fair amount about religion, though. I do like the outfits they wear.
Knock, knock, knock on Veranda's door to avoid responding to that.
As you knock a few times, you hear a shout from the other side. It's open.
I open it and go in.
You open and
You can give, yeah. I don't really know what to say to that.
a clear and obvious heat from the inside of the building hits you the moment you pull the door open. As you start to enter in, it's much drier, much warmer in here than it was outside. You see a clear forage area, anvil and hammer about, though you don't notice anyone as a halfling woman comes walking around. You see as she kind of pulls the apron smock over and sets it to the side. Very plain clothes, no sleeves, and one arm is just shouldered to wrist and tattoos.
You said human?
Half.
Halfling, sorry.
Hi, what brings you here? What can I do you for? Y'all new here?
Yeah. We're part of the Nobodies.
Well, yeah, I can tell that. What are y'all? What's your names?
Tigray. I just let you do the talking.
I'm Kesta. This is Katya.
Hi, welcome. What can I do for you?
Well, first of all, hi.
Hi.
We're here to help out the town and stuff, but right now we're kind of looking
Oh,
for
help the
some.
town out, are you? How are you gonna do that then?
We're still figuring that out.
Excellent. That's what they all say.
Yeah. Can
We're
you make
looking
us-
for 2 long poles, 6 foot or above, same heights, preferably of wood.
Well, she kind of looks about. Not much of a woodworker myself, actually.
I
Yeah.
just thought you might be the person to know where to locate such things.
I would also be interested in metal poles if that's something.
Well, that's more of what I work with. I could certainly fashion something, but I can't say that I've
And how are
got
we gonna
just
get the
metal
baskets
poles
in them?
all around.
Like put the baskets.
Brothel has all the metal poles.
Sorry, didn't mean to ignore you.
I can make a metal pole for you, but I don't just have them laying around, is what I was saying.
Okay. Well, how much are metal poles to be made, and how much? And do you know where we can get wooden poles?
Well, we don't have much of a woodworker here necessarily.
Take out one of my pieces of parchment and sketch like a metal pole with little supports to
Honestly-
hold the basket up.
I mean, if you
Hand
can
it
get
to
your hands on some wood,
Here.
your best bets are really probably to bring it to me or Gravali, really.
Okay. Well, how much would you charge to make 2 of these? And I hand I don't know if she had
There's
this
like
roll
a
for
metal
it, but-
pole, and it's got like little supports to the basket. Like we could literally just stab the basket through the top of it, and it could be supported on.
So you just need a 6 foot of one of these poles here, then
The
with
little
a bit
supports.
of a spike on the top.
Does it have to be a spike?
Well, something to pierce through the basket.
Or
is
we
what
could
you're
just
saying.
punch a hole through the basket. Like I don't want it to look like we're gonna mount somebody's head on top of it.
Or even
Well, it doesn't always hurt to have a second purpose for things.
I mean that's fair. But no, the key point was that there were little supports going out at a certain point, so the basket doesn't just slide all the way to the bottom.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's called falling.
I can work something out. It
Nothing.
wouldn't be anything fancy.
No.
And are you planning on having this be something you move about? Or...
no, just put in the ground.
All right. Well, at least that makes that a part easier. I can work on it. You need 2 of them.
Yes.
All right. Well, you give me. I'd say give me a week's time. I should be able to get them both made for you properly. You don't need any certain grip, do you?
I'm like the basket's about this big, so I mean just smaller than that, enough so that this ball can fit inside the basket
All right.
all the way around the pole.
Well, I don't reckon that I'd bother making it too big. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't have a certain diameter set for it.
No, we're just kind of winging this.
Ah, excellent. Well, I'll just go with, we'll say, for the safety, you don't want it bending or breaking on you. I don't know what exact purpose you'll be using it for, but I'll go about 1.5 inches thick for you, and just to make sure it's good. And that amount of, you just want basic iron, steel, is there any material?
As basic as it gets.
Yeah, excellent. Alright, helps me get it done
We're
then.
basic.
Alright, I can do that for you. Brand new job. It's gonna run you, we'll say, 2 gold. 1 apiece. 1 gold
I
apiece.
can pay 1 gold if you want to pay me that.
Absolutely.
Excellent, excellent.
I'm gonna decorate mine Strat 17 colors. Whatever
Home and away
those
is
are.
gonna be the colors.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think about the colors.
I was just teasing you. I wasn't serious. Like,
We'll worry about that later. We can always like put some colors on there.
I'm like shaking my head like that was a joke. No, that wasn't serious. I was just hitting on you.
All right. Here's money.
Excellent.
Yes.
Alright, well, I'd say just be sure to check back in with me in a week or so. And,
Do you know if there's any work to be done around here?
do you have any skills?
We're good at violence.
Ah, excellent. That's my type of person right there. Well, I can't say that I've got any work for you, but if you don't mind cracking skulls, I'm sure that Parsi wouldn't mind having a bouncer every now and then. I'm tired of having my dinners ruined by those ruffians.
Is it always Darnick and Dane? Or are there others?
There's others, but
But at least-
those are definitely the 2 that like to get started.
well, that's something then. Thank you very much.
And of course, and you said you're staying here in town then?
Yes, you know that brightly colored tent on top of a wagon outside of town?
Hi, yeah, I've seen it over the last few days. Is that y'all's?
Yeah.
Ah, well, won't be hard to spot you then, will it?
Nope, that's our castle.
I guess it just looks so sad.
But I'm excited for the polls. Thank you.
Excellent, I'm glad to hear it. I guess it's not too often I get custom work, but I guess this will have to do as far as it is. Anything else?
Speaking of, do you have any experience in making clockwork pieces? I pull out like a few of my different pieces and things like that.
Experience. I mean, I can make small things like that. I wouldn't call myself experienced. I wouldn't be able to put them together, nothing like that. But I'm pretty good at following a print.
Fantastic. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well,
Well, let's go take them the rest of these cakes.
All right. As we leave, do I see any like armors or weapons on display?
there are a few bits, a single shield, nothing extravagant about it, a set of almost what to your eye looks like 3 different pieces of armor and strange banded type of wavy metal patterns, as well as armor that you would recognize to be of the same styling as what Rico currently wears. And then there's a off to the side, as if it's just placed there to have it, is a set of what is clearly leather with bits of metal riveted through portions of it.
Let's take these cakes back to the boys.
The whole time he's been training, I'm just sitting there with the owl, petting the owl, watching him train.
Oh. Go.
Just train. Non-stop.
As the 2 of you arrive back, seeing the training off to the side of the wagon, Rico sitting there just watching.
Well, he looks a lot better.
Yeah. Hangovers don't last forever.
Cake?
Yes?
Rowan, do you want a cake?
The girls are back, by the way. I don't want to interrupt your training.
Thanks, Rico.
Yep.
Yes, I'll be over in a moment.
I put the cake down next to his stuff.
So we got some poles that are going to be made. There were only 2 gold.
Okay.
And they had she had like a 3 pieces of armor that were like bound together. I don't know what exactly it was, but you might like it. It looked kind of cool.
Okay.
I literally have no idea what kind of armor this is. So.
As you're informed about the day's venture into Ginhat, as you await Rowan's joining you, there's some noise from atop the wagon as Jeremy will pokes his head out. Alright, cool, y'all are back here. As he kind of starts working his way down the side of the wagon.
Do you want a cake? I have one left.
Well, of course I do, because he takes it and just at one bite just puts it in his large mouth. Alright, so now I figure since I'm kinda here to help you guys get on your way, I might see if you all had any ideas as to what you wanted to do going forward. I mean, you met the town last night. I'm sure that was enlightening.
Yeah, they don't really like outsiders.
No, I think they mostly just dealt with me because I'm kind of
Big?
well, not that, but I'm interested looking.
Well, that's fair. I've never seen anyone else like you ever.
Yeah, there aren't too many. I mean, even there's obviously
We
other
discovered that last week.
furbolgs about, but I mean, I like to think I'm a different type.
You are certainly in a league of your own.
That's what I do.
I respect it.
So, what's y'all's game plan then? What are you doing going forward?
Well, we have one of about 6 or 7 things that we maybe want to do.
Really?
Well, I guess at least there's options.
Mainly, I think we should just get to know the townsfolk better. We get them to trust us first. Or at least get to know us.
Yeah.
I think we should also go and see where exactly our territory ends.
That's true, actually.
Do you know that? Is it just Ginhat? This?
Oh no, you
So
guys. Well, this is essentially your base of operations here in Ginhat. Your territory stretches out. I'm pretty sure as far up the river as the bridge. I don't think it crosses over the river, I'm pretty sure once you cross the river, that's the
Thunder Talent.
Yeah, they got sent up over there to Hill's Edge, and from what I'm told, their territory ends on Hill's Edge side of the river. But then,
So ours goes up to the
We kind
bridge.
of got the short end of the stick.
well, I'm not gonna really argue with you there.
Yeah, that seems a little ridiculous.
Alright, so does it just like go till halfway between here and Kaimel then?
Yeah, we
split the
got
difference
to
there?
about, I'd say, maybe a day and a half's travel towards Kaimel is where it ends. I mean, there's no real boundaries necessarily. If you wander in on accident, don't think they'll necessarily do a whole lot if
Right.
it's close.
And then to the south then, do we go to that fork in the road that led us here, or? I know that the
Oh yeah, once you get back
Bush
there,
bones.
you don't want to go any further down that road
that's
from
to
that,
the,
really.
the
I mean,
temples.
if you get to the fork, you've probably already traveled out of what they consider your area.
Okay.
But again, unless they feel like just really pulling legs about it, they're not gonna throw up too much of an argument if you just happen to be on the road near the border areas and something happens.
So it's that bit ish.
And then, of course, there's no real end to the territory in the forest.
Right.
It's kind of all fair game from that point.
Right. So I guess like, is our goal to make Ginhat better? Because then we could try to clear out some of the worst things that are in this forest near Ginhat. Increase the number of game creatures then. If there's less predators.
I honestly have no idea why we're here.
Make Ginhat great again.
It's a sword. Okay, we need to build a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, make Ginhat great again.
Alright, so we go up to the Filter River, but I mean, if our goal is to try to make this an impressive place to be in charge of, I that is literally the only like, I can't think of anything else
Yes,
besides.
I don't really know how we're going to get this town to be on the
If
up
we
and
had-
up.
Well, let's make a bulleted list.
That looks like a job for someone who likes to write documents.
When they actually have purpose, I feel, yes.
I mean, this is purpose. We need to kind of gather our thoughts, make a web of sorts. If we want to, look, hear me out. If we want to try to do what Katia said, then maybe we should talk to Grivelli about what he considers to be the biggest threats to, the local wildlife population. If there's some other thing, we need to write that down so we can have all our thoughts together. When we finish one, we go to the other.
We can't just
All
get
in one
rid of all
document.
of the predators in the forest.
I didn't
Yeah,
say it's not what I said at all. If we thin out the predators, forest, this is how an ecosystem works.
Yes, but if we thin out the predators and then
There will be more.
it's going to throw the things out of whack because there's less predators to take
Less
out.
predators to take out the prey. The prey get to flourish,
Overfeed.
and then they overfeed, and then they end up eating all of the,
The
lower.
whole point is then
the
we bring
fauna,
in more
or
hunters.
flora.
Yeah, I think the point is that we become the
We
predators.
want to replace
So
the
we-
natural predators.
We want to
with
kill the bad
hunters.
guys so that we can become the bad guys, or something. I think is what she's saying.
Who
I'm not saying that we go with that option. I'm saying we write it down, and then
I'm just saying I don't see a lot of other natural resources here.
we
Kill
find
off some
another idea.
predators, invite some new hunters in to be new predators. That's something. That's all I can think of.
Why can't they do the trees again?
Because centuries ago, through a favorable relationship with the then leader of Keebrick, the family of Stratson was given sole proprietary rights to lumbering all of the Daffnshire forest.
Yeah. I think that contract needs to be looked at.
That's some bull
I'm sure it's been looked at many, many times.
So, I say we go into town, talk to everyone, and see what they feel needs to be done, and then go from there.
I mean, Verona did say that they needed a bouncer.
Yeah.
that's a start.
Sounds like something I could do.
I gotta just look at Rico.
That's just like stopping fights, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I could do that.
Stop fights to throw out the aggravating parties.
Yeah, I could do that.
She said it's mostly Dane and Darnik, but there are a few others. but
That's the
those
dwarf
are
and the human that we saw fight before, right?
Yeah.
So, we go in, we figure out what needs to be done within the city, and then go from there.
Okay. Oh. I guess, is that the plan then? You're all just gonna go see what there is to learn from the people here?
I mean, that's pretty much all we can do, right? We've only been here
Yeah,
a day.
it's not a terrible plan. You definitely gotta make contact somewhere, you know. They don't just come to you naturally. Not typically. Sometimes I suppose they do. You gotta watch out for those ones. If they're offering something but don't want nothing, they want something.
Can I insight check him to see if I feel like he's knows something? I don't know why he would, but
Sure.
I think
That
he's
he's, like,
just
not
a
letting
happy-go-lucky person.
probably. But it just doesn't matter. 7, so 7.
In your short time of speaking with Jamuel, it's hard to really get a sense of him, as most of the time what he's saying seems like it makes sense, but his delivery makes it seem as if he has no idea what he's talking about. So the times that he says things that make no sense anyways, it's hard to really get a different feel for it than anything else he says.
I'm kind of
Just like that.
curious about the filter bridge as well. I'd quite like to see that at some point.
Yeah, it would be nice to go and see what our territory looks like as well.
So we could talk to people in town and then kind of head out, do a loop.
Check out the territory we have.
That's a good idea.
So,
And as the four of you head back towards the warm bed, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be the center, the focal point of town. That or the brewery.
I mean, did you want to look at Verona's?
I can
Alright, so you just go into.
I really liked her.
take a look at the armor thing that she has, and then
Huh. Hello, the two of you again. Is your friends here?
Yep.
Alright. Anything I can help the two of you with?
I just start looking at the armor she has there.
Yeah, go ahead and take a look at it. You might be better suited for it than the rest of them here.
This is the one that I was talking about. So it's got 3 different parts.
Start examining it.
As you examine it, while certainly having a bit of individual design to it, you can recognize that this is in fact a variation of splint mail, but it seems to be almost woven and banded together in points rather than just built into separate joints. You can tell that it may have a bit more flexibility due to the banding.
It looks like it'd be more comfortable to wear. It's not plate mail though.
Do you have that?
No.
Yeah, that's okay though. So go talk to the gnome whose name I forgot.
Parsley.
Parsley.
Not parsley.
Posse.
Parsley.
Posse.
I need to spell
All right, let's go
it
talk to
differently
Basil.
so that I-
Posse.
And as you leave Verana's, heading towards the warm bed,
Yeah.
Yep.
that's where we'll take a break.
Alrighty.
Righteous.
Good, because I like you again.
Hey, I'm Rico. Rico Del Rico. Fame, glory, money. What more can a guy ask for? Besides, I've been fighting monsters and wolves my entire life. At least that's what I tell everyone. How hard can it be? Starting your own adventuring crew, going out to help Keybrick clear out its problems and monsters, all in a day's work with someone with my strength and smile.
My name is Kesta Vanille, and now that I'm 15 and a grown adult, I need to get a job of my own. I don't really know yet what I'm gonna be doing, and these guys are a little weird, but I guess they'll do for adventuring partners. I don't think they appreciate my value yet, but I am used to people doubting me, and I do not back down from a challenge.
My name is Rowan Leandel. I have been instructed in the ancient elven art of blade singing, and am now looking to make a name for myself as a prominent adventurer. With my practiced blade and skill in the arcane arts, rising above the average trash of Keybrick will be quick and easy.
I'm really not into talking without having something to say. The others do that enough. Someone needs to keep an eye on things. That is why I stay in the shadows, ready to pounce. If you need me, I'll be keeping an eye on things.
Welcome back. So, as you all leave Verana's behind, heading back around the nearest bend of the oval center of Ginhat, going around to the front entrance of the warm bed, you enter and find a few people in the area about, sitting at tables, though nowhere near as busy as when you first entered the night before, or even perhaps as busy as when you left to go drinking at the Dover. But you do see Parsi much more relaxed, occasionally glancing over the one or two occupied tables. Just he sees you. You must have enjoyed my cakes. I'm glad.
They were good.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Something started if you want.
I think we're here on just business right now, I think.
Alright, well, welcome.
Well,
And look at all of them.
and thinking maybe we could help you out with Dane.
Oh, what exactly are you meaning by that? I don't necessarily think anyone's in any position to arrest him or anything like that.
No, maybe just keep the fighting to a minimum.
I mean, I guess
Arguments are going to be arguments, but the violence doesn't need to.
I mean, I ain't just gotta hire all four of you. At least not paying you anyways.
I don't really think the three of them are made out for barroom brawls.
Just by looking at someone don't mean a whole lot.
I'm like,
Well, I mean, I've been with since we started for about a month now, and well, they people for ballroom brawls.
Nah, well,
ballroom.
I mean, I can
You
hold,
heard me.
I can hold
Barroom. Ballroom
They
blitz.
actually might be better at ballroom.
They actually might be really good.
Regardless, I mean, we kind of just like come as a whole. show you guys that we're here to help.
Yeah,
So like, there's no need to expect we want anything extravagant for
well,
something that's simple.
I want to just try and help out. I ain't gonna stop you. And I expect a whole lot from people, especially if they just show up and do things for free. No one does anything for free.
I mean, I
Two
didn't
words from
exactly
that
say for free, but
Yeah, I'm sitting there going,
Well, like I said, I mean, y'all are gonna be here anyways. Something happens, you stick your nose in, keep things to a minimal. I'll at least be able to throw you a few copper here and there.
works for me.
You can just pay me in food.
Alright.
copper might be cheaper.
Copper might be cheaper.
What time do Dane and Darnick usually arrive here? From Verona, they seem to be the two main ones, so maybe
They've
Start
got
with
some
them.
attitudes on them. I mean, it's hard to really put a time exactly on when they show. Come and go about whenever they desire, but it's safe to assume that if they ain't into each other by mid-evening, they about to.
Dinner here most nights and break up any fights. Sounds good.
Reasonable.
We're going to need to make more money if we're going to eat dinner here every night. 'Cause I at least am pretty much.
I think we'll be okay for a little while.
Yeah.
They're like those
Just-
market
just some
stalls that
carts.
sold
There are a
random
couple of
stuff.
cards who sell general
And the
goods.
carts, yeah.
I feel I know the answer to this already, but there doesn't happen to be anywhere in town that sells books.
Not anywhere that sells them, but you might check the Delane's carts. They might have something that they find.
Alright, thank you.
Well, I suppose you all want to be back here for about dinner, then we'll.
Sounds good.
We got ingredients for 2 potions. Right?
More than that.
I don't know, I haven't had 8 hours.
There's 25 apiece. Didn't we get enough for 5?
Yes.
Okay. So I could start making some potions too at some point. Don't let me forget to do that.
I don't have the, I think it was given. I think it was with you.
Yeah, that's right. I think you. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think I kept it because you're the one that.
Like I didn't write it down because I assumed you
You
had it.
delay.
So I will write it.
Come back, so I see nothing.
I saw the geek and no, it's not us.
Alrighty, so do we want to go check out the bridge or still walk around town? Do we have a plan?
Go check out the bridge. If anyone has anything.
Get to know the town for a little while? Or...
How long does it take to get to the bridge and back?
You're there and back at least a day and a half, maybe 2 days of travel to get there and back.
So, just hang out in town and meet everybody we can?
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, I'll start wandering around town and see if there's anybody who needs help with anything.
I will if At mine, set up on a table in the corner again, and try to make one of those potions,
Oh.
and listen to people.
On the stalls.
I guess just real quick, I'll ask Parsi if he knows of anybody that does any sort of any kind of.
Professionally, not that I. A fella in Kymel that does it. So.
As I set up my potion stuff.
Well, I felt like we wanted somebody.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I don't really
Go
want to
out,
spend
come
8
back,
hours.
and a bunch of time making potions, and we don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to say, might it be perhaps suppose. I guess I have heard that Kelsu's made a few tinctures in her day.
Who is that?
Is it Kelsu?
Yeah. She's Jessup's wife. Jessup's a local builder.
Are they human?
No, they're halfling.
Okay. So, we're going where?
Just around town.
We're going around town. You're making potion. What are you doing, Roy? I'm gonna go stop back by the castle and talk to Jan.
One moment. Dropping frames like crazy.
Oh, I thought it was just my phone.
So I guess we'll attempt to see how this goes, whether or not we can get through this, though I already have one warning, but that may have been the initial start of the warning as well. So we'll see. But then, as you've all set up your bit of a odd job with Parsi, we'll go through your first bit of franchise task as you try and ingratiate yourself in with the people of Ginhat. So, as you've elected with your actions to just go about schmoozing with the general populace, give me, everyone,
Schmooze checks.
a persuasion check.
Oh, persuasion. I'm good
So I
at
get
that.
an extra +1 for being an omniator?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Ooh, that was actually a really good roll.
That's an excellent roll.
Did you just use the pinball?
Maybe you shouldn't have used that.
It's like this is not a pinball.
18.
16.
18.
10.
Actually better at this than I thought. Oh! I sit at the table quietly.
We rolled the exact same number. Best friend soon.
Special codes.
On a
They have a
bicycle.
montage through Ginhat. It takes 10 seconds.
She's just pissed off. Why am I the one riding this bike? Why am I pedaling? Me on the back,
It's
like,
you just like Rowan's RBF just
Music going in the back. But you spend much of the next 2 weeks, your days in and about the city of Ginhat, your evenings and occasionally nights spent at the warm bed watching for the occasional fight. Throughout your time there, you do end up in a couple of situations, and during this time you would also learn that in more than a healthy half of them, either Darnik or Dane, if not both of them, are involved in whatever altercations seem to break out. while neither of them ever go to the lengths of attempting to full-on strike whoever, most likely Rico, gets involved in the situation, they certainly don't show any measure of respect or anything of that nature. They are aware that you don't really have a whole lot of authority per se.
Would be something to roll to try to figure out why those two in particular hate each other so much. Just out of curiosity.
Well, do you ask?
Yeah, I mean, I'd ask around.
For the most part, no real reason other than a offhanded slight Dane once made against Darnick. This would have been maybe about 2-3 years ago. Darnick's lived here for about 15 years now, and Dane has only lived here for about 4 or 5. And just one day made a comment. Most people nowadays don't even really recall exactly what it was he said, but it started the altercation. A few days later, it seemed like Darnick came back with some means of reply or rebuttal, and another altercation, and now it's to the point where most people aren't even really sure if they actually hate each other anymore or if they just really like fighting.
So no good reason. Alright. Don't care.
Most of them do agree that they're both kind of pricks, though.
Fair. Would I have time in that week then to make all 5 of those potions eventually?
Since it's closer to 2 weeks that you spent
then
doing
yeah.
it, so yeah.
Okay. So we can
Do
all
you
have
have
a
any
potion
books?
and then put an extra one in the
And your time there, you find that they have the occasional book, yes, though depend on exactly what it is you'd be looking into. They don't have anything arcane or anything of that nature.
Very nearly anything.
They have what, in your experience, you would be able to recognize, if not the exact books, but the making of them to be some of the more popular, largely produced novels and things of that nature.
I buy.
To buy all 3 of the books that they have would be 2 silver.
Done.
And of course, I want to set up the poles as soon as they're finished.
These are terrible.
Oh yeah.
We'll set them up just kind of on the outskirts of
You'll
town.
be able to pick those up roughly a week or so after your arrival.
Set
Put
up,
the baskets on first, then put the holes.
yeah, set it up in a way that the baskets are there. Try to fix the holes into the ground.
How
as much
tall
as
do you
we
get the
can.
holes?
We should do a
6
hole.
feet.
No, I said that so there'd be 6 feet above, like, so it'd be like a 10-foot pole, and then put it around.
This is 4 feet down, so it's 6 feet
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah, so I guess it would be about 6 feet tall.
This is bin ball, you know.
I was only gonna put it like 3 feet down, to be honest.
There's a lot of halflings in this town. You know, we have to kind of find a middle point between like the crazy high bin ball and lower bin ball.
I mean, that's fair. We haven't met a lot of really short people.
Okay.
He's like, this isn't fun.
I don't know why this is such a big sport.
Am I doing this right?
I mean, the idea is, you know, it's, you know, you play it different ways, but you either do like your cat, you do your like your one-on-one kind of thing, like 2-on-2 or whatever. It's, so I mean, there's an aspect of defense. But
I'm assuming there have to be kids in this town somewhere.
There are, though,
Yeah.
there are not many.
Right. Well, then we make sure that it's done like, here, you guys, bin balls are always kept right here. Go play.
Even in the 2 weeks during that time, you feel like you probably at least, in a very general sense, meet pretty much everyone in the city. You find that there are only 4 children for the entire village.
Well, then it'll be really easy to tell them all where to find the bin ball. There you go, small people.
There is and actually of the 4 children, one of them is still a baby.
Yeah. Well,
Easy
then-
to find that one for
Easy,
sure.
easier then.
There you go. He will have the most experience.
He is the pinball.
Whoa!
That accelerated really quickly.
There's a human child, a halfling child, a human, 2 halfling, and a baby. You would learn is half elf.
Alright, well, by all means, I'm sure there's some grown-ups, young adults, whatever. Here is the pinball court. Play away, town of people.
And during your time setting all this up, talking with the varied people of the city, you would have made your closest waves most likely during this time with Parsi himself, as you would learn that he, despite very likely being one of the more well-off individuals, still likely has less coin than you as a group have.
Oh, were we gonna see if we could hire that Kelsu person?
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't bring that up, Bo. When I went off before the break to go talk to Januel, I was specifically going to ask him if funds provided by if the watch provided enough funds for us to hire somebody, and how we would go about doing that.
He would have been able to tell you that they allot for minimal hiring. If you have someone that is talented at a certain thing, hire them on for a bit, keep them on, but you can't have a whole lot of people stocked on you.
Sure. And I would ask him if we just find people or if the watch provides those.
You find them and you think that they're good enough to pay. You pay them, and then the watch gets you back.
If that's the case, I would like to. If anybody else is interested in helping at any point, I'd like to talk to Rivali and Kelsu a little more in depth than just a casual meeting at some point.
I'll go with you since I know
Talk to
a little bit about
Rivali.
potion making. So.
To ask them about their experience with making basic potions and other medicines.
Alright, during the time then speaking, you would have found it much easier to find Kelsu than Rivali. In your time of speaking with Kelsu, you find that she's by no means an expert at potion making. For the most part, she's good at making salves and things of that nature. She has dabbled into potion making and things of that nature, and especially compared to those around the village, she'd likely be considered proficient with it. But she's by no means an expert or a craftsman or anything of that nature.
Could she make basic healing potions though?
She can, yes.
That's all I can do.
That's
so.
good enough for me. I guess then I would ask her if she'd be willing to for hire craft potions when we need them.
You won't be needing me to leave the city, will you?
No, I mean, we're pretty much here for the time being.
I don't believe Jessups would have anything to say against that if I'm just making a little bit of extra coin while still here at the house.
You're hired.
Thanks.
Decision is.
Right. Jemuel, I'm sure will handle your salary wages. Probably not salary.
Yeah, we'll figure this out. We'll talk to Januel and we'll tell you when we need stuff and
Okay.
we'll just pay you as it comes.
You know where to find me.
Right, so yes. Whatever Jemuel needs to do then. True.
In our 2 weeks, would I have seen the temple or whatever was there?
Yeah.
Can I get a hireling acquired graphic in post, please?
Ba-da-da-da.
The more you hired.
I want to check that out.
You would find in your time there. It doesn't take long to look about the main floor of it. It's very run down. Been some time since it's even been used from the looks of things. You would find that while many of the religious markers and things of that nature have been removed in some fashion, it seems that even when it was in use, it was sort of designed to accommodate varied religions. It was not a temple of any specific god or anything of that nature, but just more a place of worship in and of itself.
There's a temple in town. It's not used anymore.
There's a
Do you want to clean it up?
back chamber to it that the entry point is caved in mostly and inaccessible without some measure of work done to excavate that portion.
Is it like just a rear entrance to the outside or to go somewhere else?
There seems to be another, like, you can't tell the exact size, but some measure of a room seems beyond it, but it's long and collapsed in.
Yeah, well, we're here and I have nothing else that I need to do for the group. I'll be spending my time there. Or
I'll
if
help you.
people in town want to.
I mean, I spent a little bit of time going to some religious services when I was younger, perhaps. We could do something. We could have a sermon.
I mean,
Time together.
just having a place to go to speak to whatever God you want to speak to, a safe place for them is good enough.
I like his idea.
Works for me.
I like my idea too. Decisions. My 3 votes win. Or these 3 votes win.
I was just subsidizing yours.
I'm like,
This
wait
is
a
mine
second.
now.
What just happened?
She left for a second and I got her vote too.
Remember
Not yet.
leaving?
That's
I need Poland.
So I will help you with that. I like that idea.
A
So
decisionist with modified memory. You just modify memory to everyone to make them think they left and you took their vote while they were gone.
really,
don't give me ideas, Bo.
Scary, man.
So a bard decisionist is not a good idea.
yeah. I'm assuming there's got to be somebody in town who can like carve wood or something.
Actually, while we've been here, I've been keeping track of things this town actually needs.
And someone who carve wood is one of them.
A woodworker.
Well, Jessup
There's
is
a builder.
Yeah.
That's a builder, though. He might not necessarily be an actual woodworker.
Yeah.
We also need a baker. Like an actual baker, not just
Yeah.
oregano making cakes every morning.
Parsley.
Yeah, parsley.
Parsley.
There we go.
Oh, there's going to be more. We also need if we're going to redo the temple, a priest would be nice. It doesn't have to be a priest of any one.
Just someone to take care
Just
of
someone
the
to
place.
take care of the place. And also, maybe a library.
Yes.
These guys probably don't do a lot of reading, but
You know, I guess Stratson big enough to have a school.
Of sorts, yes.
Okay. So Kymel probably has its own school,
Yes, Kymel and Minoris have the 2
main schools, but for like younger learning.
I know she's been reading a lot.
A lot of
Same
Or is it
younger learning
usually-
is done within the
Not
cities
to bring
Right.
books
themselves.
with me when I left Basinvale.
Yeah, so at least something. But I mean, with the temple being what it is, I feel like we could get the priest and the library at the same time.
That's a good possibility. We have to clear up whatever that is. Probably
Yeah.
need some more space.
I can only read the feasting games so many times before I'm tired of it.
I mean, feasting games is pretty good, but it's no.
I mean, if we had a priest and a library in the same place, he might be able
Harold.
to give lessons to young
I had it in
people
my
whose
head,
parents
too.
have to work.
I had it. It was so close.
I was waiting. I was like, he's
Go a
gonna
long
get
ways
something.
towards improvement.
I had it, and it was gone. Like as soon as he said that, I'm like, I got one too, but it didn't work.
I'm sorry, Ron. What'd you say?
No, we just had mentioned
So at
that.
least we have an idea as to something to
Yeah.
help with the town. But a woodworker, someone who actually, the only problem with it is they don't have access to the actual woods. They
Right.
can't harvest any of the logs, so we have to buy
So
it from
who would
Stratson.
be in charge of setting up a branch of Stratson's thing out
So
here?
Probably
kids just
someone in
kinda
Stratson.
was the family name?
Play or
I don't
work
remember.
or
Yeah, you just said
like-
the
Yeah,
family.
it's on my list too. I
For the
think.
most part, they play with the select few of them that there are.
Playmaker.
They don't work.
Terrible
They're
playmaker.
they're not equipped to work
Yeah,
for the
right.
most part.
Harry Potter.
Can they read and write?
They're by no
That's
means
gonna be my book.
well schooled, and you would have noticed that there's not a school in Ginhat, which there was in Basin Vale and Menoris and Strats and pretty much everywhere else you've been.
You need a school.
That's what I just said.
He literally just said that.
School.
He was busy talking to God.
No,
Well, I
he
mean,
said that before he started talking
all
to
of
you.
that. That's what I said.
I remember you saying library.
Well, I said, hey, if we have a priest in a library, maybe he could lessons to the kids whose parents have to work, and we could start a school. And
That
you
was
said,
literally her
hey,
line.
that's a good idea.
We should have a school.
Apparently,
is
the
why Gotcha
documentor
doesn't-
steals ideas.
This is why Gotcha doesn't talk.
I don't think that's the reason.
I don't think it is either.
So, at least we have an idea as a way to help the
Right.
city, whether or not we can get it done in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
The first thing we got to do is clear out this temple.
We could ask Kelsu and Jessup, though, if they know, if he's a builder, he'd know if someone in town had wood carving skills or something of that nature.
I mean, depends on what you're carved. I mean, I can carve, but I can't.
We're thinking more along the lines of someone who could build, like a like woodworker, not just like I know you're a builder yourself, but
Know what you
Or
want to build.
Religious icons. We want to try to fix up that temple.
yeah, we're trying to fix up the temple here.
And you don't think a builder would be.
Well, a builder would help, but we need
Sure,
someone
but-
who's able to.
Carve religious icons.
Yes.
Things of that
And-
nature.
I think we're just insulting him at this point.
I swear, I would ask him if he did wood carve,
He's
like,
insinuating
I
he
mean-
wants the job.
I'm no artisan, but if you're looking to rebuild something, that's probably the best you're going to get.
oh, absolutely. We were thinking more about religious icons to put within the church.
A sculptor. That's
Ouch,
But
speaking of
someone who
wood.
works with wood to sculpt,
A wood
like a woodworker.
Yeah, there's.
Whittler.
A whittler on the roof.
You probably, as most things about here, your best bet looking for something like that's probably going to be kind around here.
Okay.
So, at least we have an idea as to what we need done.
Yeah.
First things first, I gotta go lift all this crushed rock.
I will go help you. So I'm done.
So it's in
well,
We also need to find someone to heal that guy.
That's fair.
That's
You know, maybe
you.
we can find a priest who can heal.
I mean, I could do it.
He's got some
I don't want to
diseases
get
to
that
it.
close.
Find somebody else. We don't want to touch him.
I'm not sure what that cough is.
It's where you can kill yourself.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how fast acting it is either.
It's a risk
Walk
we
up
won't
dead.
have to take.
It says you start making the plan to go into the temple yet again, actually go about some measure of planning out the excavation of this entry point. You start heading that way from your wagon headquarters.
the castle.
Someone
Yes.
needs to just
My
go put him
castle.
out of the
Castle.
When there's a uptick, you suddenly hear the sound of a fairly quickly advancing horse and wagon. As you look back down the road and see a quickly advancing single wagon of sorts.
How far away?
As you first notice it, it's maybe a little over 100 or so feet, drawing closer, and it just continues.
Just try to wave it down.
I mean, I would get out of the what road? Okay.
As you start waving, trying to get its attention, it kind of rears off to the side a bit, slowing down. As you see a individual that you come to have met a time or two in the past couple of weeks. As Niragu Shempler, a fairly old gnome who had claimed to
Fix
have
the
once
bridge.
worked on the filter bridge.
Everything okay?
Oh. No. You guys are actually. You gotta go to the bridge. The Kekin orcs are messing with things.
Oh, okay.
Let's head out.
I guess that's what we're doing today.
Right. Do you know how many there were?
There was a small group of them. I don't know, 4, 3, 5, somewhere. Not a whole lot of them, but more than I was gonna deal with. I had to get out of there.
All armed?
Enough. They were trying to break the bridge.
Yep, we need to
Yeah,
go
we
deal
need
with
to
that.
go fix that.
Alright.
Jamiel, will you keep an eye on Sammy, please?
That's what I was gonna say. Is it faster to not take Sambert pulling the wagon?
Probably.
If we just
Probably.
All right then.
As the mule has a carry capacity of 450, so you all plus a wagon plus equipment is considerably
You said
more
450?
than that. Yes.
I take up more than half of that.
Yeah.
Without my armor.
I take up almost none of that, but
I am
Yeah.
very small.
I weigh 230
I
pounds.
Even the wagon.
keep slowing down as I
Better
walk
than
for
15.
them to catch up.
Alright,
We're
so
not getting on
Let's go.
let's
So
go.
you quickly grab up your bags and begin heading
Shout at
off
Jamiel.
down the road.
Keep an eye on Sammy, and then
As
Yeah.
Jamiel says, "Oh, all right, good deal. You guys found somewhere. Go ahead. How's it going, guy? All right, bye, guys."
Gone.
As you leave Ginhat behind, heading along the road towards the bridge. That's where we'll end tonight.
And here we were so sad to see trucks leave.
We
We
got
got a much better replacement.
that. At least
I
Daniel
feel
remembers what he
like
ate.
I would